Hello, everybody. Welcome to your favorite Bronze Age comic book podcast, Flea Market Fantasy, coming to you directly from Vaughan, Ontario. This is Mike-EL, and as always, I'm joined by
Mike-DELL of the LCS Hockey Radio Show.
That's right. And as I said, I am sitting on a bed in a hotel in Vaughan, Ontario, which I never heard of until today, but I am here for a work trip. And so Mike-DELL, he was nice enough to record his podcast on a different night. Not that it matters because we air it the same day, but yeah, so this is great. I'm having fun here. Anyway.
Yeah, we have to record the show quickly before the hookers get there.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's hurry up.
All right. Okay, so yeah, this week is your pick. This is Flea Market Fantasy number 29. It is Mike-DELL's pick. Why don't you tell us what this week's choice is?
Well, we're going back to Marvel, and we're going to 1977. Mm-hmm. So I was 2 years old, and we're going to be talking the Champions, number 16.
Right.
The Champions.
Yeah.
No, I picked this issue at random. I had never read any of the Champions.
Okay.
I wanted to read some Champions. I just picked this issue because I saw it had Magneto in it. And Dr. Doom. So I'm like, oh, you can't go wrong. Magneto and Dr. Doom.
Obviously got it good.
It's written by Bill Mantlo and drawn by a fellow named Bob Hall.
That's right. I've interviewed Bob Hall, actually.
Oh, well, we'll talk about this later then because
sure.
I'm interested in this. All right, so what do you know about the Champions, Mike-El? Do you have a long history with the Champions? You probably have like Champions underoos and Champions posters on your wall.
Not even close. To be honest, they're one of those teams where I kind of didn't even know they existed when I was a kid because it had been so long since they were around and they didn't really make much of a footprint, right?
Yep.
So I don't know. This is the first and only issue I've ever read of Champions.
Will it be the last?
It is absolutely the last issue of Champions I'll ever read.
Yeah, I didn't really remember them as a kid either. But when I learned about them was, probably about, 6-7 years ago. There's a mobile game app called Marvel Avengers Alliance.
Okay.
You ever hear of this?
I've heard of it, yeah.
I loved it. And I played it every day for hours. And they had all the characters. And when you used Hercules and Black Widow or, the Champions, you got a little bonus.
Really?
A Champions bonus. So I'm like, what does that mean? So I looked it up, and then I was like, oh, yeah, they're on the team called the Champions. And here we are. So the Champions, there's 5 members. You got Iceman, Angel, Hercules, Ghost Rider, and Black Widow. And that seems crazy. Why would you put those characters? Obviously, Angel and Iceman have a connection, but the other 3. So you're probably wondering, Mike-El, how did this come to be?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I will tell you.
Okay, great. All right.
So Tony Isabella, the writer, he wanted to do a team book, and his original idea was to do a book with Iceman and Angel, the 2 former X-Men characters who left the team. And he was going to make it like they hit the road. Like, I don't know up in Canada if you get the old TV show Route 66. You know what that is?
Actually, I don't think I've ever heard of that, no.
Oh, okay. There's a large, long route here in the America called Route 66.
I've heard of this.
It is not named for Mario Lemieux. But
okay.
And it goes from pretty much throughout the whole country. It runs right through my hometown even.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, I can get on Route 66 all the time. But these 2 guys, they in the TV show, these 2 pals just hit the road and they had adventures traveling Route 66. So that's what Tony Isabella envisioned for the book originally, and he also planned to have the character Black Goliath join up with them at some point.
Sure. Okay.
Now, do you know who Black Goliath is?
Absolutely. Bill Foster.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. He's basically just a black version of
Goliath.
Yeah.
Yeah, of Henry Pym, yeah.
Yeah, like how Ant-Man could get small and then real big. He was Giant Man. Well, they just Black Goliath. Here we go. Because I guess Tony Isabella was also going to write his work because he had a little series that lasted 5 issues. Black Goliath.
That's right.
I think in 1976. So he was hoping to bring him into Champions as a way to support, both of them.
Oh, okay.
But it didn't work out. So, all right. So the only two members on the team to begin with were Iceman and Angel. Well, then Len Wein, the editor, said, hey, I want at least 5 people. And you got to have a woman. You got to have a big, strong guy. And you need to have a character who has his own ongoing series. So that's how you get Black Widow. She's the lady. Right. Hercules is the big, strong man. And they went with Ghost Rider for that third option. Some other people they considered were Captain Marvel, Power Man,
okay,
Son of Satan. But they went with Ghost. Yeah.
All would have been bizarre choices, eh?
Yes. I mean, you could have just went with Power Man and killed 2 birds with 1 stone. He could have been the muscle and the guy with the ongoing series. But
yeah.
And I think Power Man, I think he does show up in at least 1 or 2. Or no, that's the Defenders. Never mind.
Yeah, because there's really nothing connecting these characters, right? Like,
nope. Not at all.
Yeah, there's no theme here, that's for sure.
So this team was pretty much doomed from the start. The other thing that we should mention, the series only lasted 17 issues.
Right.
And they were having trouble hitting deadlines at the beginning. So sometimes it was monthly, sometimes bi-monthly. Just don't know. So that's always a sure secret for success. And the other big problem they had, Mike-El, in the 17 issues, they had 12 different writer-artist combinations.
Jeez, that's bad.
Yeah, that book is not going to last.
Mm-hmm.
And it did not. Yeah.
No. A rare failure from this era, right? Like most of the stuff that they put out around this time was pretty successful, I think.
Well, except for Black Goliath.
Yeah, good point. Good point. You got me.
Nailed ya. So I'm thinking, what else do we need to know about the Champions, Mike-El? Yeah, looking through my notes here.
Weren't they originally called Champions of Los Angeles? Or is that like...
Not that I know of.
Okay, because maybe that was either implied, like maybe that was their full name or the original name. I just remember hearing that thrown around a lot, the Champions of Los Angeles, but I could be wrong.
Well, it seems I know there were some issues that took place in L.A., so maybe. I mean, like there was one called The Battle of Los Angeles with we'll mention later, I think.
Huh.
So, yeah, that's something. Now, the book ended in issue 17, like I said, but they actually tied up the loose ends, and the team officially disbanded in Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, issue 17 and 18 in 1978, because Bill Mantlo was also writing that. So he used that as a way to tie things up. So here we go. Because in issue 17, they fight the Sentinels, which, again, they get Magneto in this issue and then the Sentinels in the next. So it seems like they were trying to do everything they could to try and get people to buy the book, but nope. No interest.
Well, okay, I got a little note here for you, okay? I just Googled the Champions of Los Angeles, and it brings up this team, and apparently their official name is the Champions of Los Angeles. Their alias is the Champions. Yeah.
That's weird because, the book's official name is The Champions.
I know.
Why would that seems unusual.
I don't know. But there's got to be more to this story, but I'll have to look into this later.
Yeah. And I never even encountered that when reading about the Champions. So, all right, there you go. Now, we should mention, Mike-El, this story we're about to discuss tonight is actually the second part of a story that started in a title called Supervillain Team Up.
Yes.
I didn't know this was a series at all. I had no idea this existed.
I definitely have heard of it, but I've never read any of the issues. Yeah,
so Supervillain Team Up, it started in 1975 with 2 giant-sized issues featuring Doctor Doom and the Submariner. And those issues were published quarterly. And then it got a regular bi-monthly series that started in August 1975, and that ran for 14 issues. And so the issue 14, the last of the regular run, was the first part of the story we'll be talking about today.
Right.
And in that issue, Doctor Doom teams with Magneto. Well, kind of teams with, but they're both in the book. They're adversarial.
Okay. Yeah,
they're both in that book. The previous 13 issues, it was Doom and Submariner and 11 of them, and Doom and Red Skull and 2. So,
okay.
I guess what I'm saying is I don't know why it was called Supervillain Team Up and not Doctor Doom and Submariner.
Yeah, well, it's just like how Marvel Team Up. Almost every issue was Spider-Man plus someone else.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Marvel 2-in-1 was The Thing plus someone else, so that's just the way it was back then.
But here's an interesting note, Mike-El. The book was supposed to end with issue 14, but they had to publish an issue in the following year, in 1978. They published one in 1979, and they published one in 1980, simply to prevent DC from trademarking the term supervillain.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, okay.
How about that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That issue 15 in 78 was just a reprint of an old Red Skull story. And then the one in 79 and 80, those two issues featured Red Skull and the Hate Monger.
Okay.
So there you go. Here's your history of a supervillain team up. I think our lives have all been enriched.
Yeah. Now, do you? It's funny because I thought that the Hate Monger was the Red Skull, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
Well, yeah. See, that there's a lot of confusion about this. But I don't, because at one point wasn't it Hitler?
Yeah, it was also Adolf Hitler. That confused me as a kid. Because then when I'd read the biographies of Hitler, they never mentioned his career.
No, not even once.
No.
he was an artist. He wrote a book. He was the hate monger. Nope. Never comes up. So.
Skimmed over that. Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the story here. Oh, well, there's a couple other characters we should mention. Sure. I like to give the background characters. Now, obviously, everyone knows Angel and Iceman, and we've talked about them. We talked about Ghost Rider before on the show. We gave you his history. Black Widow, I think everyone's familiar with her.
Yes.
You know, the Russian spy and all that, Natasha Romanoff, right? But do you know where she first appeared?
Was it in Iron Man?
No. Tales of Suspense 52, way back in 1964.
With Iron Man, though, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah. And she was created by Stan Lee, Don Heck, and Don Rico, who I don't know. Don Rico.
I don't know Don Rico, no.
No, Black Widow, she's getting her own movie, right?
Yes, she is.
So maybe, I know you like the movie tie-ins, maybe when that movie's about to come out, we'll do a Black Widow book at some point.
That would be cool, for sure, yeah.
Now, I know it's out of our window here, but I love the recent Black Widow series with, who's that artist? David Samney or Samney,
oh,
right?
Samney, yes. The one written by Mark Waid.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty good, yeah.
Yes, Samney. I really like that guy's art.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, people should go check that out. All right, Hercules, Mike-El. He's the old, the Hercules of lore. Everyone knows Hercules.
Greek god, yeah.
But in comic books, his first appearance was in Young Allies 16, 1946.
That's a technical first appearance.
Yeah, Golden Age. Yeah.
Right, because it wasn't really the same.
Hercules.
Right.
Gotcha. It was Hercules in general, but not this one. But Young Allies in 16, it featured Bucky. Bucky was the big character.
Nice.
Yeah. So then his first Silver Age appearance, the one Hercules we all know and tolerate, is Journey into Mystery Annual 1, 1965, where he was trading blows with Thor.
Oh, nice.
And this version was created by Stanley and Jack Kirby. Of course, I think, I don't know, Charles Nicholas, does he get credited for bringing him in the first time, or I don't know. But, because he's listed among the creators, but...
Oh, okay. He's got a cool costume, Hercules? I always liked it.
Really? I guess the boots.
Yeah, the boots are very cool. The strappy boots, whatever those are called.
Strappy boots. Yeah. All right. So, how do you feel about Hercules? Are you a fan of the Hercules? Because he talks like a Greek god with that kind of verbiage, and he loves to fight and drink booze. That's basically what.
I've never been a huge fan, to be honest. No, not of the Marvel Hercules. No, he's never done anything for me.
Yeah, I never liked him either. Fucking Hercules.
Yeah, to be honest, I never really liked the comic book Thor either. You know, I like the movie Thor.
That's true. I agree. Yep.
Never a huge fan of Thor. Yeah.
One other person we need to mention here, Darkstar. Do you know anything about Darkstar?
No, not only do I not know anything about her, but I didn't realize she was in the story until halfway through.
Yes, well, she's that blonde girl who appears on the splash page.
Yeah, what? Who is she? What does she do?
Her name is Lania Petrovna, And her first appearance was Champion 7, 1976. She was created by Tony Isabella and George Tuska. Okay. And she was part of a Soviet super team recruited to return the Black Widow to Russia.
Okay.
That is the aforementioned Battle of Los Angeles I referenced earlier. I think that issue is called Battle of Los Angeles. And one of the other members of that team is Titanium Man. Do you remember that guy?
Oh, yes, of course, of course.
I expected Crimson Dynamo to be a part of that team, too, but he was not.
That's weird.
Yeah. A couple other people I've never heard of were part of that team. But and her deal was she can manipulate dark force energy.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty much the same energy, I guess, that like Cloak of Cloak and Dagger fame, that dimension he goes into.
Oh, really? Okay.
Energy. And the Shroud. Are you familiar with the Shroud?
I know the dimension you're referring to, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's the dark force energy. She can like shoot it as energy and like shape it into physical constructs and do all kind of crazy stuff.
That's cool.
So, that's Dark Star. Mike-El, so that brings us to this story. I know you're very excited.
So
let's give some background. Let's give a quick background on the issue and supervillain team up. The premise is that Dr. Doom has released a neurogas throughout the world. Yes. And basically he can control anyone's mind.
Everyone's, yes.
Yeah, by just commanding them to do something, they do it.
Right.
Like they have to listen to Doom. So he even takes it. Magneto, for some reason, Magneto ends up in Latveria, right? That's Doom's home country.
Right.
And he sees everybody worshiping Doom, and they're having parades in his honor, and he's like, what the hell's going on here? So he confronts Doom about it, and Doom explains, well, I released this neurogas. I've dominated the world. I have dominated the world. I'm the winner. I'm the big champion. And Magneto gets upset about that, and so Doom brainwashes him. But then Doom thinks, you know what? I want a challenge. So he gives Magneto the antidote, and he says, here you go, Magneto. You try and stop me. Try and prevent me from taking over the world. And so Magneto looks for help with the Avengers and the X-Men. They all fight him or something. But he's able to convince Beast. He's able to cure Beast of the brainwashing. So Beast is now with Magneto, and they're trying to find other people to help them. And they visit the Champions, and the Champions are already under Doom's command. So they start fighting Magneto and the Beast, and that's where we're at when this issue opens.
Okay, I got to pause for 1 second. I got to get a glass of water, okay?
Mike-El.
No, because I had Indian curry, and like the spices are killing me. Give me 1 second, okay? 1 sec.
Leave this in. That's
holy.
Mike-El is so excited about the Champions. His mouth just got so dry.
All right.
He's anticipating this Champions issue so much. Just overly excited. You got dehydrated. You needed some water.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm not in my element, right? So usually I have all this, like a glass of water ready, but I'm just...
Mike-El, well, he's in Bonn, Canada. Is that B-O-N-N? Bonn?
No, V-A-U-G-H-N. Like Robert
Vaughn.
Yeah,
like
Vaughn.
Closer to the Cleveland Indians.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
So when he was up there in Canada, he decided, I'm going to eat Indian curry at an Irish pub.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest.
No, it was not. Which, once again, is a perfect segue to the Champions.
Yes, exactly.
Not the greatest. It's not the Avengers, not the X-Men. It's the Champions.
So here's the thing. I read this issue in a van on the way up to Toronto.
Okay.
So I'll do my best here, okay?
It sounds like you're weeping. Was the curry really that hot? You're
No. I think it's just that it's just like in my throat still. But anyway.
All right.
So okay.
Talk about the cover, Mike-El. The cover.
The cover. So here we go. 1977. I was gonna say this seems like a pre-New X-Men Magneto, but sure enough, it's not. Right? Like this is Magneto on the cover, acting like the Silver Age Magneto, but no, it's 1977. But you want me to start at the top here and talk about the logo and everything?
Yes.
So we have the logo, the Champions, and then right above that we have all of their names. Hercules, Black Widow, Angel, Ghost Rider, Iceman, right? That's kind of unusual for that time,
with
I think.
exclamation points after each one.
Right. And then just like the X-Men comic at that time, we have the 5 faces of the members in the little box there.
But notice like the from the Champions extends into that box.
It's kind of weird. Yeah, it looks like it was added later, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that.
Kind of weird. And then we got, so like I said, we got this Magneto acting, I would say slightly out of character, but that's okay. So he's like yelling at the Champions, and he's saying, "Cease fighting me, dolts. Only I can save the world from Dr. Doom." And then Hercules is saying, "Nay, Magneto, Doom is the master we do serve." So the reader is thinking, whoa, why are the Champions working with Dr. Doom, right? So anyway. So then it has a little blurb on the left that says, featuring the bombastic Beast, plus a super surprise guest star.
Yes.
And at the bottom, Carnage in the Capitol. So I don't want to spoil anything, but I think I know who the guest star is, but I'm not going to say who yet.
Well, there's two guest stars technically in this, but we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, so the cover, we got Magneto using his powers. He's wrapping up Black Widow, Ghost Rider, Iceman, and Hercules in like metal fencing and lampposts. Right.
And
then Beast is in the background lifting up a big rock that he found somewhere.
Now, do you have credits for this cover? Because it kind of looks like Gil Kane, but not as good.
I believe it's Bob Hall.
Okay. I don't want to diss Bob Hall because I interviewed him. He's really cool, but this cover's pretty good. But I mean, not as good as something Gil Kane would do.
Well, here's the deal with Bob Hall's art. It's very cartoony.
Yeah, you could say that.
Oh yeah, you can definitely say that. It's very, very, very cartoony. So if you don't like cartoony art, you will not like this at all. This is definitely something you could see Saturday morning on
like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah. Yes, and Bob Hall did do the cover. So.
Okay. Yeah, it's like I said, it's not bad. It's pretty good. What do you think?
If you like the cartoony art, it's good.
Yeah,
but I'm not a huge fan.
The composition's good though. It's not terrible. It's pretty good.
No, it's fine. Yeah, yep. I like Magneto. Now you're saying Magneto's out of character here, but I'm trying to think where would he be in X-Men continuity in '77? That's around 130, right?
A little bit before that, I think. But like when I think of Dr. Doom in this, or Magneto in this time, I think of like that two-parter where the X-Men are captured, and then remember they're in like the volcano headquarters, and you think they all die. I don't know. He was a little bit more nuanced then. And then later, if you remember, Chris Claremont started to change him and make him like a Holocaust survivor and all that. Yeah. Remember? So I mean, you could say he's probably in character, but it just seems slightly more Silver Agey the way he's acting here.
Yeah, I just can't remember. I mean, I know he doesn't become a good guy to like
200. Well, like officially 200, yeah, but.
Well, 200, he was arrested, but he was already a good guy before then, right?
Okay, yeah. I guess he was already leading the New Mutants. Oh, no, sorry. Around 200 is when he became the head of the school.
Well, 200, remember that was the big double-sized issue where he was arrested.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think he became good when, didn't Xavier go with the Starjammers and Alondra up into space for a while?
Yes.
So I don't know when that was.
That was around 165. So I don't know what year exactly. That was like 82-ish, maybe. I think. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know.
A long time.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, yeah, he's acting old school supervillainy here, and he can do that because Marvel published those issues, so DC couldn't trademark supervillain. So
that's right. Yeah.
it's very good. All right. So the main page, Mike-El, the big splash page of the issue. I like the splash page.
Pretty good, yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah. But again, super cartoony. So,
yeah, definitely. And so just to make it clear here, I know that you already explained this, but you got to explain it quickly again. So Magneto is in control of himself, and so is the Beast, but everyone else is under Dr. Doom's control.
Yes. And I don't know how, though. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
Because it plays into the end of the book. I was very confused.
Yeah.
but apparently, everyone in the world is under Doom's command except for Magneto and the Beast.
Okay. Everyone on Earth. That's what makes it a little bit far-fetched, but that's okay. Yes. We can forgive that. So Magneto and the Beast are fighting Iceman, Darkstar, Hercules, and Ghost Rider. And Ghost Rider actually asked the question, but can even the champions stop Magneto? Right?
Yes. Yep. That's not a blurb. That's not a narration box. That's Ghost Rider saying it out loud.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that great? So they're fighting, and basically Magneto is using his powers. He's using, he's wrapping metal around Hercules to hold him down. And then he's using like a force bubble to protect himself from the hellfire of Ghost Rider.
Yep.
And magnetic shield or whatever. And then he's using like a steel girder, like another steel girder against Angel. And it's funny because they go, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. But he's taking care of Hercules. He has the metal force field or the magnetic force field up to block the hellfire of Ghost Rider. Yet Angel thinks, you know what? I'm a wing boy. I'm just going to fly at him. That's going to work.
I know. I love Angel, but even Chris Claremont said that his powers are useless. Now, I don't think that's true, but you got to be pretty creative to do a good Angel story.
Well, they're not useless. He can go get you lunch and stuff.
Yeah.
He can go pick you up some Indian curry at the local Irish pub.
Yeah, there you go.
But he's not beating Magneto.
No, he's not. No.
All right, anyway.
So it's funny because, back in these days, they'd always have those little blurbs referencing previous issues, right, where people met or whatever. But here they go a little bit overboard. It's like Magneto says to Angel, "Have you so soon forgotten that it is I, Magneto, to whom you owe your life?" And then it says at the bottom, "See X-Men number 62."
Yeah, I don't mind that. I like when they used to do that, though. In the old school books, there'd always be like a little asterisk and then see this issue. I like that stuff.
I mean, it would push me to want to go back and read that story.
I know. So I love it.
Good job. Yeah. So, and then the funny thing with this is two former teammates fighting each other. Well, three. Beast is fighting Angel and Iceman, right? So it just makes it that much more tragic, right?
Well,
not really tragic,
but yeah, it's
yeah. So it's basically just a lot of fisticuffs and
well, not really any punches are being thrown though.
Not actual punching, more. It's like things being shot. Yes. Like Black Widow shooting her wrist thing. I don't even know what that shoots. Do you? Was it lasers?
Like an electric shock. It wasn't it, but it looks like a laser there though. Bang.
Yeah.
But I thought it was like a shocking kind of thing. Like electric.
And then Iceman's shooting his ice, right? But Beast just leaps out of the way.
Yeah, and on the next page, Iceman is literally shooting ice, like ice cubes.
Right. That's right.
Usually you see it depicted as like a ray or like a beam of some sort, but here he's shooting ice cubes. So
I also love how Ghost Rider just tells him, "Don't warn him, Drake. Ice him." It's just kind of, I don't know.
Magneto forces Hercules through the roof of because they're fighting on top of a building in Los Angeles. I think, so because they are the champions of Los Angeles.
Right.
So I'm guessing they're in LA. And he uses his powers to force Hercules down through the roof. And and Beast tries to escape, and Iceman catches him with an ice slide.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
There's a really cool part. Sorry, when I say cool part, I mean there's a part with terrible dialogue. But is it? I don't know. I think it's Natasha, Black Widow, who says, "Oh no, sorry." Beast says, "After all, you can take the hero out of the X-Men, but you can't take the X-Men out of the hero." Then Black Widow says, "No, Bobby, stop him now. That's an order." And then Iceman says, "But he's my friend, Widow. All right, your team leader." And then he shoots him with an ice slide.
Yeah.
I just thought that was bad dialogue, but whatever.
Then Iceman says, "But this is the last order like that. I'm obeying. Do you hear?"
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Awesome. And then we see Hercules climbing out of the hole in the roof. And then he punches Magneto. He punches Magneto, but Magneto's protected by his magnosphere, so he's okay.
But he launches him like a pinball. Like he just launches him.
Exactly. And so now the fight in the next page spills out into the street. And we see Magneto is like standing on top of a car with a broken windshield now. And then I love this. Beast is like You want to wallop the champs while Doom steals the world? You're a puppet, Mags. You know that? And Magneto says, have a care, beast. I don't know. This dialogue is whack, if you ask me. But
it's whack.
Yeah.
Mike-El is not pulling punches.
No, yeah. And I think this is the point in the story where I realized Darkstar was in it.
Yeah.
Right here, yeah.
Magneto puts his little magnetic bubble around the beast, and they just start flying away. He's like, all right, screw this. We're out of here. So Darkstar, she uses her Dark Force energy. And I like that picture of Darkstar, where she's on the bottom middle panel on the last row there. She's summoning the Dark Force energy. Again, super cartoony, but really good. And so she puts them in a bubble. The champions are in their own little bubble, and she starts following them. And they go all the way, Mike-El, across the country to Washington, D.C., because...
Here we go, the big guest star!
No, this isn't the guest star, I don't think.
Oh.
Like, it's one of them, but I don't think this is the guest star they meant on the cover, though.
Okay.
We'll debate it in a minute. But so yeah, they're going to Washington D.C. at the White House because Dr. Doom is meeting all the leaders, including Jimmy Carter.
That's right. and they even try to do his accent.
Yes. How do you feel about Bob Hall's depiction of Jimmy Carter?
I mean, it's pretty grotesque, but it kind of looks like him. I can tell it's him.
Yeah, he's got a big mouth and smiley, and the haircut looks a little unusual. Like, I wouldn't recognize that as a Jimmy Carter haircut.
No. So wait, what state is he from again?
Oh, it's
Idaho or something?
No, it's a southern thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because
Jimmy Carter.
All of us here are praying you'll succeed and unite in the strife-torn world to endeavor in the words of Bob and then he gets cut off by Dr. Doom. Silence! Cease your incessant jabbering, all of you. This is great. Bob Dylan yelling at all the leaders of the world.
Yeah, Jimmy Carter is from Georgia. He's a Georgia peanut farmer.
That's right. I knew he was a peanut farmer. Yeah. Mm. So yeah, Dr. Doom yelling at everybody. This is funny. So yeah, then we cut to outside and he's like talking to diplomats and stuff. But then just before things can get too boring with too much talking, the Hulk drops in, right?
There's your guest star.
Okay.
That's your guest star. Yeah.
Well, it's a matter of opinion. I think Jimmy Carter's a bigger deal, but whatever.
but Marvel, Hulk's the top secret guest star. But you think if they would mention it, maybe people would buy the book if they knew Hulk was in there.
Maybe it would have saved the series, right?
Yes. I don't think anything could have saved the series.
Yeah. And then this is so now there's apparently a UFO flying towards them, but it's not a UFO. It's Magneto and the Beast, right? And his Magnosphere. Of course, it's funny how Dr. Doom knows it's a Magnosphere. Magnosphere bearing Magneto and the accursed Beast.
Well, because he knows Magneto. He was duking it out with Magneto earlier in the previous issue. So maybe Magneto sat him down with a glossary and said, all right, this is a Magnetosphere. Yeah. Now, we should mention Doom summoned the Hulk to his aid.
To help him.
Yeah, well, to be his muscle, I guess. Because Hulk's under his influence as well. Hulk is also brainwashed. So. Okay. So so Magneto uses his magnetism to bend the turret of a tank around the Hulk, which is kind of cool. Yep.
And then we see another ball flying towards them. Now, Mike-DELL, is this another Magnosphere?
No, this is a Dark Force sphere.
Oh, okay. So this is a sphere containing the champions. Yep. So they all come back, and now they're coming to the scene, to the White House, to fight Dr. Doom and the Hulk, right? And
to fight Dr. Doom, but they don't know the Hulk's there. But now Hulk's look out! Hulk's free. He busts free from the tank, and then we get Hercules running at the Hulk.
I also got to point out that Hercules says, "I lad," and an old foe of Hercules as well, the grotesque green-skinned behemoth men call Hulk. Then at the bottom it says, "They first met in Tales to Astonish number 79." Isn't that awesome?
Archie, good one. Put that note in there. Yep.
You know what's kind of funny? I just noticed this. Look at the next panel of the Magneto shooting his little magnetic bolts. Is that supposed to be the Hulk's hand? Because it's exactly the same shade of green as the grass.
Yeah, that's the Hulk's hand.
I thought it was like the bottom of a tree or something, but I guess it wouldn't be green. But.
It is a weirdly shaped hand.
Yeah, gigantic.
But Yeah, that thumb looks like my thumb broken from playing hockey. But yeah, Magneto is grabbing him with his magnetic power, and then the next panel he throws him at Hercules.
Right, and then Hercules says, "Base villain, I will oomph." I think he's been reading Shakespeare, eh? That's cool.
Yep. But here we get a nice fight though between Hulk and Hercules, or at least one punch. We see Hulk laying into him with the big left hand. Boom.
Yep.
Hercules gets rocked. So I'm a big fan of that. I like punching.
Cool. Yep, you like fisticuffs.
Yep.
And then oh yeah, so then they're talking and then
well, I don't know if they're talking and talking.
Two panels of talking. Then Ghost Rider says, "What is this? The champions moving like robots in answer to Doom's command." So yeah, I guess they don't even know he doesn't even know what's going on.
Yeah, Ghost Rider, this needs to be pointed out, he's not under Doom's command. Because why, Mike-El?
Because he doesn't breathe.
That's right. He doesn't breathe. He's dead. He's a creature of hellfire.
Yeah, crazy. Okay? And they actually explain, since the hellspawn Ghost Rider does not breathe, he never inhaled Doom's neurogas.
Yeah, so he starts fighting along with Beast against like the White House security, all these army dudes who are getting into the fight as well.
Right. And I'm just trying to figure out, why didn't Ghost Rider figure this out earlier if he was never
He's not that bright.
I guess not, eh? Okay. That's what.
Well, I guess if you're fighting Magneto, I mean, Magneto's a bad guy, so you're like, oh, well, we just got to fight Magneto because he's a bad guy. And like and Magneto's trying to tell him, hey, I'm here to just get help. And they're like, screw you, Magneto, you're lying. Maybe that's what happened, you know?
That could have been what happened, yep.
Yep.
But we'll never know because we'll never read Supervillain Team Up number, what was it, 14?
Yes, 14. It has a cover by John Byrne and Terry Austin.
Oh, okay.
So that's nice. But, yeah, I did not read it. The fight rages on, and Hercules cracks the Hulk and knocks him through a pillar. The White House. That's pretty cool. Yeah,
it's really cool. And then Ghost Rider is using... Oh, yeah, so then the Beast says to Ghost Rider, gosh, you'd be great at backyard barbecues. And then Ghost Rider says, do not mock the power of hell. It's hilarious.
And Iceman freezes up Ghost Rider's arm.
Yeah.
The Hellfire is no match for frozen water.
Yeah. And it's just, there's a lot of, I don't know. I mean, I can read every bubble is funny. Like, Iceman says, you betrayed the champions and Dr. Doom, Ghost Rider. Beast says, now there's a conflict of interest if I've ever heard one. It's just like, it's Stan Lee kind of dialogue, just taken to the extreme, eh? Yeah,
Bill Mantlo, he makes Beast try to crack wise every time he's in a panel. And none of them are funny.
No, but, exactly.
So Angel starts to fight the Beast, and then Magneto ties up Darkstar and Black Widow with a lamppost and metal fencing. So then we get Magneto versus Doom, the main event.
And sorry, go ahead.
Wouldn't these be the top two? Like, how would you rate Marvel villains if you're ranking the Marvel villains as the most powerful? I'd say Doom would be one, right? Like, he'd be the most
probably
famous.
Yeah, probably. He was most famous, but yeah, he's probably number one. And Magneto is gotta be. I mean, unless you're like, if we're counting just humans, it's probably Magneto next, right?
Yeah, you think of Thanos? That's it?
No, I thought like Galactus, but we're not going to count people like that.
No. Yeah, screw Galactus. But Magneto would probably be second. I'd put Red Skull 3.
Yeah, but I don't even know what his power is. What is Red Skull's power?
He's a dick.
Yeah, he's famous, but he's not that powerful.
well, he harnessed the cosmic cube. You know.
Oh, okay, really good point. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So
Magneto throws a tank at him, but his Dr. Doom's force field bounces it off. And then meanwhile, Hulk and Hercules are still fighting, and Doom's in there, Ghost Rider's in there. And it's funny because he's Ghost Rider, but he's kind of thinking like a human, like Johnny Blaze, right? So
yeah, because he's even saying when he's fighting the different military dudes and civilians, he's like, I got to do my best not to hurt them, but the Ghost Rider inside me wants to kill them. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But when you're talking about the Doom Magneto fight, you're like, how would this be a fight? Magneto would just crush him in his own armor, right? Because his armor's made out of metal. How is this even?
That's a good point.
But what happens, Mike-El? Do you know what the secret was here? Did you read it?
Did I read it? Yes. Oh, you mean talking about the fire?
No. Dr. Doom reversed the polarity of his metal. So.
Okay.
When Magneto went to shoot him with his magnetic power, it repulsed and hit him and drove him flying. You know.
Do we have any science majors on this show?
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah.
No, I was going to ask because I'm trying to think of how magnetism works. Like,
well, did you ever put two magnets and try to put them together?
Yeah, but
they like repel each other.
But if this is but this is what I mean is if his metal armor is going around, like for example, if it's going around his leg, then one side would be magnetic north and one would be magnetic south.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So what would it be then? What would it be?
It's on a molecular level with electrons and whatnot determines the polarity, not what direction you're facing.
No. I'm not saying it's like a compass. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that it's like if one side of his leg is reversed, then the other side is going the other way. So either way, Magneto would figure out a way to crush him. You know what I mean? If he can't crush the front of his leg, he can crush the back of his leg. That's how I see it.
No. Like the whole metal would be like differently magnetized.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. If there's any of our listeners listening right now or listening when we post this, please write in and tell us if we've got this right or if we've got this wrong.
I got to tell you, I'm a little sad here, Mike-El, because you are from Canada, the home of Don Herbert, Mr. Wizard, right? And do you remember that show, Mr. Wizard?
No, I don't. I don't think so. No.
He was that old guy who would bring small children into his house alone and teach them scientific tricks.
Okay, no, I don't think so. No,
really?
I don't think so. I
swear they were Canadian.
I remember a show that was called. It was on Saturday mornings, and it was a guy performing experiments and like explaining to kids how like science worked, and then in between they'd show really old Bugs Bunny cartoons. But it's probably not the same thing, eh?
I don't think, but Don Herbert. I could have sworn that all the kids were Canadian because they always come in and say a boot. And stuff.
Oh, it could have been. Yeah, could have been.
I don't know. Maybe not. Oh, it says it aired on NBC, so I guess they just lived in a neighborhood with Canadian kids. All right.
Could have been.
Whatever. Fair enough. All right. So anyway, you science majors out there, write in with the. But I think Doom's plan is perfectly sound.
Okay.
He reversed the polarity of his armor, so it repelled Magneto, and he went flying away.
All right. So anyway, so then what happens now? This is just are these just goons? Yeah, these are just like White House goons standing around, right?
Yeah, the security and stuff.
Yeah, like they start attacking Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider's thinking, have to stop them without hurting them. But the Ghost Rider side of me is trying to force the Johnny Blaze side to kill them, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. And then Beast is punching Angel, and then Beast is falling into Doctor Doom. And then this is kind of cool, actually. Then, what's his name? Ghost Rider uses his Hellfire to basically set Doctor Doom's face on fire. And Doctor Doom is forced to rip his mask off, which you almost never see, right?
Yeah, he keeps his face hidden, so we don't get to see his face.
Right.
It's covered in like smoke coming off it and in shadow and stuff. But yeah, his face is burning, so he has to rip off his mask. And when he does that, though, Mike-El, he also exposes himself to the neurogas because his mask is what filtered the toxin.
Right. Very cool. And this is what's kind of cool is because this is how he's defeated. Because now he is susceptible to his own gas, which means he is under his own mind control.
Yeah, and he starts kind of like having a nervous breakdown.
Right. It's like a feedback loop, right? Kind of. But now everyone else is out of his control. So they're basically now. This is where I was gonna say this is where the problems begin, but they begin on page 1. But sorry, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I don't understand how they're not in his control anymore.
It doesn't make any sense. That's why.
Yeah, everyone else just like wakes up and he's having problems, but like, so that would imply that he was controlling every person in the world mentally.
Yeah, he was. Now, maybe the reason, theoretically, I guess they're under his control, but if there's nothing to control them, I guess it just breaks the spell.
But he really, like, controlling them? Like, what I'm saying is, like, if he tells them, hey, go fight Magneto, command wear off. It's just, I don't know. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so.
Like how many commands does he have to keep giving them to keep them do that? So it almost seems like he's controlling them, but that's impossible because everyone in the world can't be controlled like that. So
no,
none of this makes any sense.
That's exactly it. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And it makes it even worse the fact that they all forget what just happened. So Iceman's like, what happened? Where are we? I feel like I just woke up. And then Hercules, thou art not alone in thy confusion, lad. 'Tis shared by Hercules as well. It's just, so yeah, no one knows what's going on. They all forgot about what happened.
And then on the last page, they're all looking around at Doom. He's like, Magneto just leaves. He's like, all right, I stopped Doom.
Yeah.
I'm the winner, and he just flies away. And but then, like in the narration on the final page, it says, a gas that is still in the atmosphere, still subjugating all who inhale it to the will of Dr. Doom, including a normal breathing Johnny Blaze. And it would seem Victor Von Doom himself. So the gas is, they're still breathing it in. They're still brainwashed, but just Doom's not giving no commands.
Yes.
So I don't get it.
Well, no. And then Dr. Doom is like, Doom commands, but I am Doom. Command, and I must obey. Yet why does Doom not command? Why? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at this point.
So now for the rest of the time, they just stand around looking at Doom, or like they go about their business. They're like, oh, well, I guess we'll go back. And then like 10 years from now, if someone says, hey, if Doom shows up and says, hey, pick up my laundry, they have to go get his laundry. I don't understand. Like,
I don't understand either. I don't know. I'd like to know if this is resolved in the next issue or if this is just the end of the story.
We will never find out.
That's right, because we're not going to read it. Yeah.
But it's not like it says continue next issue. Like next issue, a guest artist, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Well, some anyway, and the Sentinels survive. Plus a surprise mystery villain. Oh, a lot of
maybe
surprises.
It's Jimmy Carter. Can I point out that I cheated just now, jumped ahead to the next issue, and it opens up with Hercules and the Black Widow just chilling out. Like, they do not resolve this situation. So what we saw is what we got. That's it.
Yeah, you think they would want to do something about the neurotoxin still in the atmosphere. I don't know.
I guess not. Yeah, so that's that.
That's just a very strange story. Maybe it would have been better if he just hypnotized specific people instead of the whole world. You know?
Totally. Yeah.
It just raises too many problems. Many problems.
Right.
All right. So there you go. That's Champion 16. Wow. What a ride.
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
Mike-EL is speechless.
Yes. I will say one thing. I've been reviewing Marvel Team Up, okay? With what's that?
Well, that's the one with Spider-Man and someone else all the time?
With Spider-Man and someone else. And it's inked, it's drawn by Herb Trimpe, but it's inked by Mike Esposito. And my theory is that the reason the art is so bad in that series is because of the inker Mike Esposito. So I'm going to go on a limb and say the reason this art, like you kept saying it looks cartoony, I think that all is that falls on Mike Esposito. Because I think Bob Hall's pencils are actually not that cartoony. It's just Mike Esposito's thick lines that make it look cartoony. That's my theory.
Well, have you ever, I guess you were familiar with more Bob Hall art? Because this is the only thing I've ever read drawn by Bob Hall. Yeah,
I've definitely seen some art he did for like Squadron Supreme that looked really realistic. So,
because again, this is super cartoony. Like, who's the guy? Like, the Batman animated series, is that Bruce Timm? Is that his name?
Yeah, Bruce Timm.
A lot of the stuff is very similar in that style. And who was the other DC artist that did like the cartoony style? Cook?
Darwin Cook. Yeah, see, I don't see that at all, personally.
Oh, definitely. Like, look at that panel of Black Dark Star where she's summoning the Dark Force. I mean, that's a super exaggerated cartoony picture, you know? And every panel is super cartoony.
Well,
look at... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that I think it's more the inking than the actual pencils underneath. But I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm more of the art. I'm not going to be able to, tell you. But
yeah,
Google. This is the part of the show where we Google.
Yeah. I'm actually right now looking up Bob Hall, Squadron Supreme, to try and find some examples of what I mean. Of like his more realistic style art, Yeah,
so, I'm looking at some of his other stuff here, and yeah, he looks more legit comic book art.
Right.
So maybe it is that Esposito guy.
I think so, yeah.
I should also mention Bob Hall. This is his first work at Marvel.
Oh, this issue?
Well, not this issue, but this Champions run. He did it more than, but this is the first thing he did with Marvel. Well, let's just talk Bob Hall.
Sure.
Since we're talking about Bob Hall. He was born in 1944. He started drawing horror comics for Charlton Comics in 1974. So he broke in at 30. And Champions issues 8, 9, 10, and 16 were his first stuff at Marvel. And that was in 1976 to 77. He also did Supervillain Team Up 10, 11, 12, and 14 in 1977. In 1978, he teamed with Chris Claremont on Marvel Team Up 74, Mike-El.
Really?
Which featured Spider-Man meeting the cast of Saturday Night Live.
Yes, I actually found that double-page spread. And I've got that issue.
He did 12 issues of the Avengers and an annual between the years 81 and 88. So, like really? one issue a year, you'd jump in on the Avengers. In 84, he co-created the West Coast Avengers with Roger Stern and drew the first 4 issues. And I just saw the West Coast Avengers cover 1 when I was Googling things. And yeah, it looks like really good comic book art. So totally different than what we're looking at here.
Right, yeah.
From 93 to... he was also a editor at Marvel for a brief time under Jim Shooter. And then he ended up working with Shooter at Valiant Comics. From 93 to 95, he drew 25 issues of Shadow Man.
That's right, and I've got every single one of them.
Wow. And he was also the regular writer from issue 7 until the series ended with issue 43.
Yep.
I don't know if he wrote every issue, but he was most of them. In 1996, he wrote and drew the first 4 issues of Armed and Dangerous for Valiant Comics.
I think I remember that one. Huh.
And then he's way into like theater and stuff too. He founded an off-Broadway production company and stuff, and did some Dracula performance or something. I don't know. It got noticed. But so he's way into theater. So you interviewed Bob Hall?
Yeah, I interviewed him last summer at the Michigan Comic-Con. So if you're listening to this, just Google Bob Hall Comic Book Syndicate, and you'll see a 2-part interview we did where he talks about Squadron Supreme and Shadow Man mainly. But yeah, he's a really cool guy. Yeah,
he had to be like 75.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, I would say.
Is he spry? Still getting around?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wow. Yeah. I got to tell you, Mike-El, I barely move. That guy's 75, going to conventions. Did you learn anything interesting about Shadow or Squadron?
Well, I don't. No, I mean, it was just it was interesting that. Not interesting, but it was unfortunate he wasn't able to finish the series. I know that. I think he might have a problem doing monthly books. Maybe. Right. But that's, I mean, yeah, it was just cool just to, because I've seen, it was weird because when I Googled his art, I started realizing a lot of the Squadron Supreme art that I liked as a kid was all him. So that was kind of cool,
Yeah, now I need to look at, I just assumed this was his regular style, but yeah, clearly it's different. Yeah. So maybe I should look to see if that Esposito fellow was inking other Champions issues that he drew and see if there's a difference. I don't know. But it is something we've picked up on, and that is significant when doing this show, is that, inkers can have a huge influence on someone's art.
Totally.
Have a huge influence. So, all right. So that's Bob Hall. The writer, Bill Mantlo, we've talked about him in the past on the show. He's probably most famous for writing Micronauts and ROM. And he co-created Rocket Raccoon and Cloak and Dagger.
That's right, yep.
And he wrote issues 8 through 17 of Champions. And he did Supervillain Team Up 4 and 9 through 14. So, Bill, I mean, he did a ton of different stuff.
Tons. Yep. He also, I think he wrote the Transformers #1. I think. Or
he was known as the fill-in king because back then, when everyone was missing deadlines, they would just have Mantlo write a book, and he would have a bunch of. So he worked on pretty much every title imaginable, like fill-in issues.
Sure.
And of course, a tragic event where he was hit by a hit-and-run driver when rollerblading, and he's been in assisted care living for the last 30 years.
Yeah, it's sad.
Terrible.
Yeah. And also, we're covering his second run in Spectacular Spider-Man right now, and here comes the Spider-Cast. It's actually really good. So he's definitely a good writer.
Yeah, his work here, though, is...
it's not good at all. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. The general plot is interesting in the sense that, I like the fact of Doom being in control, and you're pitting all these villains. Like a Magneto is now in a hero role, trying to save the world, and the champions, the heroes, are kind of villains. So I liked all those dynamics, but just don't think about the plot too much, or it will make no sense. None.
Well, yeah, like the premise of controlling the entire world is ridiculous. Like you said, it would have been so much simpler to just make it like small scale, like 20 people or something, or just whoever would happen to be around, But I don't know, and it doesn't really once you get beyond that, it's basically just them fighting each other for the entire.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Yeah. I like a good fight. So that's cool. But yeah, the dialogue here is pretty over the top. And that can be good. It can be fun, or it can be terrible. It depends on your perspective. I don't know.
Yeah.
So what are you giving Champions, Mike-El?
Oh boy, this might be the worst comic we've ever reviewed.
Not even close. Not even close.
So?
No. Are you forgetting Miracle Man, House of Mystery?
Wait, hold a sec. This is the reader. This is the listeners are not confused. Miracle Man. You mean?
It was such garbage.
No. What are you talking about?
Mr. Miracle. Mr.
Oh, jeez. Oh, you almost gave me a cornea there, Mr. No. That was infinitely better than this.
No.
It had a story.
Werner von Wunderbar.
Oh, it had a story. This is not a story. Come on.
Garbage. Absolute garbage. This was
the only thing I'll give this is it's maybe more fun, but it's not good.
Hercules and Hulk trading punches.
God,
this is way better than that.
Oh my God,
close. What about that Batman issue drawn by Mike Golden, where he's just got to stop a magician? That was garbage. Great.
No way. That at least had a story. Come on.
No, it had a plot that made less sense than this.
No way.
The guy was moving a dead body around all those places.
But at least trying to solve a mystery.
Not a single damn punch in that whole. Oh, I guess there was one punch, but it looked terrible.
Here's the thing: it's one thing to write a mystery that amounts to nothing, but at least he tried. This is I guess it's kind of like a Michael Bay movie where they're not even trying to tell a story, so they can't fail because they never tried, right?
I guess.
I don't know.
What else? We've done a lot of terrible DC comic books on this show, so.
I don't know. It's funny because even though this is the worst one we've ever reviewed, for me at least, I'm still going to give it a 3.
Yeah.
Just fun. What do you give it?
Yeah, here's the thing. I think a 3 is about right. Because I'm not a fan. I mentioned Bruce Timm and what's his name? Darwin Cook?
Yeah, Darwin Cook, yeah.
I like their stuff. And this is super cartoony, and it's fine. But it's just not what I like, So I do like the punching, though. Yeah. And I liked all the heroes, because there's a lot of people here. Ghost Rider was interesting.
Ghost Rider was cool. I was going to say he stood out. He's cool.
I liked him, setting his mask on fire. That was good stuff.
Yes.
So, yeah, I could even go 4. I could even go 4. Yeah.
I was going to say, okay, might go 3.5, maybe 4. And you know what? One thing I'll say, okay, that House of Mystery or whatever it was, the one thing I'll say that makes this better than that issue is I might read number 17 just to see if there's any follow-up to the story.
Oh, what about that stupid Christmas thing? Christmas with the superheroes. Oh, good Lord.
I read that every year at Christmas. It's one of my favorite comic books of all time.
Prostitute Superman.
Yeah.
I can warm you up. Yeah. All right, Mike-El. So I'm guessing next week we're probably going back to DC, aren't we?
Actually, I was going to, but I'm going to hold off on going back to DC just because I'm waiting for a certain guest to come on, and she's not available. So
now, when you say guest, I'm guessing Jolie. Is that
no? It's not Jolie.
All right.
I mean, it could be Jolie, but it's not going to be this time. No.
Oh, okay.
But I won't say who it is. But she's not available. She might be available in a couple weeks, so I'll keep that other comic I was going to pick on the back burner. Okay.
Is it the Baroness?
No, it's not. It's not the Baroness. No,
right.
I haven't talked to the Baroness in like 8 years. So, okay, so this is gonna be. This is gonna absolutely be the weirdest pick of all 28, 29 episodes we've done. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a couple hints, and I want to see how many hints it's gonna take before you can guess it. Okay.
All right.
Okay, number one hint. It is technically not a comic book. It is a magazine, part of a magazine.
I already don't like it.
Okay. It is okay, but here's one good thing. It is published by Marvel.
Okay.
So that's a good thing, right?
Sure.
Okay. This is published in the UK.
Oh, is it like Captain Britain or something?
Nope.
Is it Miracle Man?
No. It is based on a TV show.
Based on a TV show.
A British TV show.
Oh, it's not a Doctor Who thing, is it?
Doctor Who magazine, number 139. Okay, so this magazine had many features in it, like articles and interviews and stuff. We're not going to read any of that stuff since it's not available. We're going to read the 8-page comic book story. Is it 8 pages? I think it's 8 pages. Written by a certain Grant Morrison.
Huh.
One of his not his very first, but a very early story written by Grant Morrison with art by Brian Hitch. Are you familiar with Brian Hitch?
I am not.
Wow. Okay, so Brian Hitch co-created The Authority. He did The Ultimates, which the Avengers movies are based on. He's one of the absolute best artists in the industry, and this is very early work from Brian Hitch. So this is Doctor Who magazine number 139 from August 1988.
The Avengers are based on the Ultimates?
Yes. Well, Ultimates is technically Ultimate Avengers.
Oh, okay.
So
I was very confused.
Yeah, so when they did the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they kind of just based everything on the Ultimate versions of the characters, So when they did Ultimate Avengers, they just dropped the Avengers and called it Ultimates.
Yeah, I'm going to let you know on a secret here, Mike-El. I have no idea what Ultimate nonsense is. Like that Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate. I don't know any of that.
Some of it's crap, some of it's really good.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, you know who's a big Doctor Who fan, Mike-El, is our old buddy Miles Watson. Remember?
Really?
Yeah. Like if you want, I could see if he wants to stop by.
That would be great for sure.
He loves Doctor Who.
Really?
You know who's not a big Doctor Who fan? This guy.
And I know that you were pointing at yourself when you said that, right?
Yeah, with both thumbs.
Have you ever seen this show?
No, but I love that one girl who was on it a couple years ago. What's her name?
Oh, Amy Pond?
No. She's
Billy Piper. Oh.
No.
Oh, you mean Claire.
She's a British girl, brown hair.
Oh, but yeah.
She is spectacular. I can't remember her name.
Just a minute, let me just look her up just to make sure we're talking about the same person here.
Yeah, this is the part where we Google good-looking ladies. It's just the way it goes.
Clara Oswald. I called her Claire. I'm so embarrassed. You mean Jenna Coleman?
Yep, there it is.
Oh, my God. I love all the companions of Doctor Who, but she is absolutely the most beautiful. Yes. She's like one of the most perfect women on earth.
She's amazing. Oh. And I just knew she was part of Doctor Who, but I have no concept of what was going on. I don't know.
You just know her from like seeing pictures of her?
Yes.
Wow. You should watch her on the show. She's great.
I know there's a phone booth involved, and I don't know. That's about it. So
this should be interesting then.
Yeah, I'll see if Miles wants to talk about it.
Sure, that'd be great.
Now, I don't know if this should even count. This seems like a loophole, a magazine. I mean...
No. But you got to understand, in Britain, I think all their comics were magazines.
So now we can. So this opens it up. We can do comics from like Zimbabwe and
technically, yes.
Mexico.
Well, see, now I was trying to give you red herrings because I thought you were going to guess like Rampaging Hulk magazine or like Savage Sword of Conan magazine because those are magazines.
Yeah, the problem there is I did not know those are things. So yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I have opened up a can of worms. So feel free to pick from those magazines as well.
Yeah, so I'll get on that Rampaging Conan magazine right away.
Rampaging Hulk, I said.
Oh.
Anyway. All right.
Next week. Can't wait.
There you go. Oh, yeah. So, I guess that wraps up this week's episode of everybody's favorite Bronze Age comic book podcast. As usual, this has been Mike-EL and Mike-DELL, and this has been Flea Market Fantasy. So we'll see you next Tuesday right here. All right.
Mike-EL.
Yeah.
You forgot your catchphrase.
Oh, yeah. Until next Tuesday, disperse.